it is.
All right, great. Welcome back from the break. We're going to kick off. We have, as you guys can see, a panel discussion. The title is Practical Applications of Ethereum for the Sex Industry. So if you're triggered by Ethereum or if you're triggered by sex, then hide in the corner or something. So we have the one and only Maria Paula interviewing 4 members of the Spank Chain team. So I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. Welcome.
Hi, I'm MP. Are you shy?
No.
Okay. So hi, I'm MP. I work for Golem, and I also help organize this event. And at East Berlin, we believe that we should push education further, and education includes diversity and includes people from all walks of life as well. So Spank Chain is one of those projects that really fixes issues in the space and in the world that haven't been fixed before. So I think it's really worthwhile to present how behind the tech how this particular project is helping sex workers. So so maybe you can intro for a short while.
Sure. Hi, my name is Ameen Soleimani. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Spank Chain. It's a platform where we build economic infrastructure to migrate the adult entertainment industry onto Ethereum so that they have more secure financials and transactions that don't get censored. That's what we do. So far, we've built a bunch of payment channel technology, and we have a campsite up, and we just launched the Spank Bank.
Hi, I'm Brenna Sparks, and I'm an advisor and porn star for Spank Chain.
Hi, I'm Janice Griffith. I am an adult performer, writer, and co-founder of Spank Chain, and currently work as the adult industry liaison.
Hi, I'm Allie Eve Knox. I am a fetish performer, and I also work at Spank Chain.
Okay, thank you all for coming here, and I'll explain you shortly how sourcing the questions work. So actually, because right now Spank Chain and here especially has female models, so then we decided to ask female technical people to look into the platform, and also girls that were interested on your work and your what you go through, and on the motivation to join Spank Chain, and then we put together all these questions.
Amazing! Excited to hear it.
So well, let's do one by one. So. Maybe, Brenna, you can explain us if you ever have faced issues with any middleman and how you came into Spank Chain.
Just recently, I've had my bank account shut down. It was U.S. Bank. And they didn't want to say why, but the second time I came there, I threw a fit. And then I was like, and they actually decided to call the cops on me. It was like demanding my money, and I was like, "Where's my money?" Whatever. And I was like, "Listen, I know why you guys shut down my banks because of cryptocurrency and because of the adult industry, and most normal people do not know that until they read the terms of service." And so, anyways. I decided to post on Twitter what happened, and then they immediately sent my money within like 24 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Twitter works by all means, and exposing people also works. People have to know this problematic exists. Could have this been solved in like a platform like Spank Chain?
Yeah. A lot of the banking issues that we have, they're pretty much solving.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And, so maybe Janice, you can explain me more about the platform. So when checking out conventional camera sites and Spank Chain, we discovered that there was no labeling, so people could enter whatever room and then demand things to the girl that maybe they didn't do, you know. So what's going on there? Why are the rooms not classified so the users can enter a specific room and the girls are, you know, we would like to see the girls not confronted with, you know, facing things that they don't want to do?
Sorry to interrupt you, but it's not that our rooms aren't classified. You know who the model is based on, you know, their username. We just haven't decided to categorize people by gender or race or, you know, any of those other traditional identifiers. And I can't control what someone on the internet tells me to do. We have no, you know, every other campsite that you can go to will have people telling models to do something that that model does not offer. That is not a SpankChain exclusive, and it's something that happens within the sex industry all the time. I have people that ask me to mail them containers of my excrement, and it doesn't mean I do it, but it happens. The SpankChain model for our campsite, I love because our support team is on 24/7. We always have someone there ready to answer questions. And our community is actually so much more positive in general than the other campsite communities that I've been a part of. Our users are friendlier. Our models are more helpful. I'm not sure I 100% understand what your question was, because it seems as though it revolves around people coming into cam rooms and asking for things. But correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You know, obviously I don't work in the adult industry. I work on the tech side, so I would like to also learn more. So this is actually very helpful. You know, it's important also to know that you girls are prepared, and if you feel comfortable, and you know how to say no, obviously, as everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And one of my favorite things about the sex industry is that we have all of the power. And, you know, I'm speaking from my personal experience, which is very privileged. I'm not a survival sex worker. I, you know, exist on screen and not, you know, on the streets. But I can say no, and that is one of the biggest privileges and perks of my job. And I'm sure that Allie can also agree and attest to that immense privilege that we experience of being able to say no and having that power.
That's perfect. Ali, actually, I have a question right for you. What's your experience with hecklers and trolls when coming? How do you get past these incidents yourself? And do they affect you?
I'm the wrong person to ask because things actually don't affect me. I was born without shame, and I honestly don't give a shit what people say to me. So I think I'm probably the minority in this. So when people come in and they say things that I don't want to do, it's kind of a, well, whatever. You're out of here. I don't care. Peasant thing. So it affects other people, though. I think that maybe you watched when you were on the site, when people come in and they say things that make a model uncomfortable just to try to do that. Some models know how to handle it because they've been in the business for so long. Some models are new, and it really kind of taints their experience. So I hope that it makes you think about the things that you say to a model who is opening up, giving you their most intimate moments, being very honest and real. And I hope that no one in this room will go into a room and do that to someone who's performing for you, with you.
A lot of people feel more comfortable saying things online that they would never say in real life, or they think that there's not a real person on the receiving end. And it's incredible to see the extremes that people will go to when they think there are no repercussions. I, like Allie, was born without shame or care for anything. Nothing anyone says on the internet really matters to me because I'm still getting paid at the end of the day. And also, it's so... I have this cynical view where I think it's pathetic that someone would do something like that. So I don't even, their words hold no weight to me because I'm like, oh, you're that kind of person. What do I care what you think?
But to kind of piggyback off of that too, we are so, I mean, in the camera room, what you experienced, in addition to our money, I mean, everything I do is legal. There's nothing wrong with what I do. Despite the fact that my Amazon shut down, my Coinbase is shut down. The things that I'm doing, yes, I violated the terms of service because it said don't do sex work, but I'm taking a tribute for showing my feet. I mean, come on.
Also,
this isn't like a big thing.
Their terms of service are really just vague, up to their discretion, based on whatever opinions they might hold as a company. Because I've also had my bank account shut down, and they were just like, "You violated our terms of service," which are, it's up to our discretion to decide whether or not you have done so or not. So we decided that you did, and that's that.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
that's
it's a bummer.
completely
That is
fucked up. And that makes me very angry. But can the audience give a round of applause for being born with no shame? Yeah. All right, to our next question. Maybe, you want to take it. So, do you plan to bring in more users to the platform? People need an initial effort to be able to buy Spank and Booty.
So if the question is, do we plan to bring more users onto the network, then definitely yes. If it's about how and reducing frictions and creating ways to buy booty, we are working on that. We're still in the camp of hoping that somebody takes on the gargantuan task of putting the whole crypto team on their back and figuring out how to do token purchases with cards, because that would make our lives and many of you in the room lives easier. But in the absence of that, we've just launched the Spank Bank to allow tipping and that, and so you'll be able to buy our booty tokens in Ether. There'll be a stable coin, and we want to hold hands for the new users that come to our site, make it easier. Right now, it's so far we've been designing for your everyday crypto veteran. They're going to come and complain if they can't check the whole address, stuff like that. And we're sort of selling out a bit, sorry. But we're trying to cater more to the user who it's literally their first crypto experience ever. And so we have to make it easy for them to come in and understand and eventually figure out how to do the address checking and all the rest of it. So this is all going to happen in about a month. Pretty excited about that.
Just to sort of sneak in there, I think it's really cool the way that we do it because it maintains the integrity of our users. I think that the people who are invested in watching SpankChain grow from the beginning are people who are really committed to the cause and understand what's going on. And like Ameen said, it's people who are like, oh, I've never used crypto before. What do I do? And sort of moving away from this idea that you have to understand every single process that you're taking part of, and instead just knowing enough to be able to use it. Because something that I go back to a lot is, I don't understand how regular money works, but I still use it every day. So I don't need to understand every single bell and whistle of trading crypto to be able to utilize it for my life and my business.
Cool. Thank you. That's really cool. So, Brenna, what's your experience in the Ethereum tech community? Do you like us?
Lately, I've been doing a lot of... Oh, I have an ETH tattoo, but I would have to take off my shirt in order to show you guys. It's right here. Lately, I've been doing a lot of interviews and articles about cryptocurrency, and it seems like that's the path I've been moving towards. And every single day, I've been gaining new crypto followers, and yeah, I love it. They do discriminate a lot, but I have more people that support me than hate that I'm a sex worker. Yeah.
Yeah, I find it so odd that people hate sex workers, honestly. Mm-hmm. Really.
I love that European mindset so much.
Mm-hmm.
Trigger warning.
So, Janice, so this is a question for you. Basically, one of the reviewers of SpankChain is really interested on getting male porn there. So how are you thinking of doing this? How are you going to do this? How are you going to know what we want? Can we get like a women who also want to spank survey or something?
So right now we have our models, like you can just apply to be a model, and we're accepting every kind of body, gender, and person. We have, you know, some trans performers, we have some non-binary performers, and we have female performers as well. I'm not 100% sure if we have any male-identifying performers. That's a Chase question. Yes, we do. So, also the idea that women only want to see men, I think, is something that I'm trying to have people grow away from, because there are queer women out there who actually want to, you know, consume the same kind of content that a heterosexual man might want to consume. Our campsite is still in beta, actually. Like, we're in our public beta, so it makes sense that we don't have a ton of variety in the kinds of performers that we have. But there are definite plans to be as accepting and open as we can possibly be to every identity, gender, orientation, race, etc. We don't discriminate except for, you know, hate. That's where we draw a line. So yes, we do plan on inviting more kinds of people and creating as much diversity within the world of pornography as we possibly can.
Nice. That brings me to my next question, actually. Either you or Ameen, or you can take it. Can you explain us a little bit about the structures that are being put in place in your company to combat social issues like discrimination, harassment, and all that things.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I can start a little bit, because coming on, I co-founded the company with Ameen and our other co-founder, who is not here. But the beginning stages of it was just us sitting there talking about the problems within the sex industry and how we could fix it, and how the discrimination that, you know, I face being a sex worker affects my life. And they were like, hey, we have this idea where we could change that. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Tell me more. So in the beginning stages of our company forming, we really have tons of open dialogue of like, hey, this is who I am. These are problems I experience. This is a community that I'm in touch with. These are the problems they experience. How do we make sure that we are making every single person feel comfortable unless they're actually wrong? And by wrong, I mean, you know, racist or homophobic people with true hateful intentions. And we really go out of our way to make people feel cared for and comfortable and genuinely safe on our platform. I'm sure Allie can add to this.
We also have a code of conduct, which we expect models and viewers to follow. We enforce rules. We have tons of moderators. Chase and I are in rooms all day helping. Our viewers have been really good and supportive. They maybe were not so interested in the sex work portion of this project before, and I think that now they're starting to get it. They're starting to actually make friends with the performers and really understand that we're people and we want just the same rights and opportunities as others. So we've been really lucky so far to not have a lot of issues.
Okay, thanks. Great answer, honestly. Ali, where do we still as a community need to make progress to make various types of crypto more useful in your daily life and in your work?
I'd love to be able to frickin' use Coinbase, but...
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I guess it's like what Ameen was saying earlier, being able to use and get our product more easily. We need some more education in the space because a lot of our users are brand new to this. So I think if we can band together and really support each other and help each other through this and bring more people into this community, we're really going to prosper.
Cool. I think a big part of... Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I think a big part of it is making people feel comfortable to ask questions, because a lot of the tech world can have an air of elitism or classism to it, where, if you're not the smartest person around, you feel scared to ask a question, or if you don't understand something, it's like, ugh, you don't understand that? I think making people feel comfortable with not knowing something, asking questions, and having that open dialogue could really move us forward so quickly.
Cool, thanks. Brenna, is the audience in SpankChain different to other campsites?
I came on there a few times, and I've noticed the clientele are a lot different. They like to talk crypto, and I've been playing crypto games where I've been drawing the logos and making them guess which crypto coin it is. So, they're a lot different, and that's all they want to talk about is crypto. One time I was trying to make ribs. I was trying to cook ribs, and they were like, no. No one wanted to watch me make ribs. So the clientele is a lot different. They're smarter. They're really, really into crypto, and they like girls that talk about crypto as well. And I like the site. It's fun coming on there, and
Thanks. So, Ameen, how much saying do the performers have in the changes in the platform? Or, for example, do they get governance rights?
So we haven't formalized any sort of tokenized governance, but so far, we're trying to build the platform that they want, and so they have open communication channels to voice. There's, the features that they want or bugs that they need fixed. They come onto the Discord group, and they'll let Chase or Ali know, and we'll talk to the devs and add it to the priorities. And big things that they're still, looking for is private shows. It's the obvious one. We added IP blocking. There's a bunch of moderation tools that we had to add when 4chan raided us. It's pretty bad. So, yeah, it's stuff like that. I mean, we try to do our best to stay on top of building the tools that they need to make a platform that they're comfortable with.
Listening to the community is our number one thing. It's how can you build something for someone that you're not listening to?
Amazing. So, Ali, how did you find out about Ethereum, and is there something that excites you the most about the platform?
I started taking Bitcoin in 2014. I had my ass shut down in 2015, so I was really looking for a solution. So I was taking things in different wallets, hiding money in different places, so it wouldn't shut me down. And then I came across SpankChain right prior to the ICO and thought, this might be it. This might be somebody that's actually going to pull for us and be on our side. And it's been really wonderful. I think, to go back to the last question, unfortunately for Ameen, we're really loud. And we talk a lot, and we give our opinion a lot. So he can't not hear us. Unfortunately for him, a lot.
But fortunately for literally everyone else.
Well, we all need to be louder,
Hell yeah.
So, Brenna, maybe you can explain this better. So you have been using SpankChain for how long?
I would say I've been camming on the site for at least 2 months.
And did you find it easy to get onboarded? Did the team help you? Which were the biggest pain points?
It's definitely easy to use. I give credit to Ali and Chase. She gives basically how to move around the site, and it was really easy. And he just moderates the whole thing, and the whole website is really nice compared to other sites I've cammed on, like MFC, Chatterbait. It looks really, really crappy and it's difficult to use. They make this completely just very simple. And they also explain what is spin and everything. So they make it very simple for performers to use.
Nice. That's a lot more than regular campsites, I believe, right?
It's way more user-friendly than any other site, even just aesthetically. If you take a look at My Free Camps, it looks like a late 1990s website. It's fucking horrendous.
Yeah, it looks really crappy.
And, well, what would you like to see in the next months built in the platform, for you to use and enjoy, and what awaits there?
Okay. I would love someone to pair up with us and make a card where performers can cash out. So instead of having to transfer to this wallet or go to this exchange, they can just go to the card, go to the ATM, take their money out. That would be great. I think performers really like that, especially when a lot of them are making rent or trying to pay that bill tomorrow. It's very important that they get their money quickly.
I am totally right there with you. I'm in a similar vein. I would love something along the lines of what we did with Crypto Titties, where it's just direct tipping to a performer, but on a better, bigger and better scale that works. And God, cashing out would be so nice.
Yeah, something we also didn't mention is while we're in beta, our models get 100%, so we're taking nothing. As a matter of fact, it's actually costing us money because we pay our performers to be on the site. So they're getting all of their money. Whenever we start taking a fee, we'll take about a 5% fee. So they're going to get 95%, which is the usual 50% is what they were getting. So this is insane. It's changing lives, honestly.
Other cam sites literally take 50% of what you earn. Like, if I make $200 on My Free Cams, only 100 of those dollars is mine.
And then we pay taxes on that.
That's fucked. I don't have anything else to say. And for
Right.
you, Brenna?
That's fucked. I'm done.
What would I want? Just recently, I started talking about this on Twitter, where it would be cool if you can make, because I know there's tipping bots that people make. It would be kind of cool where people can just buy adult performers' videos or Skype shows and just tip through Twitter and just attach what kind of video they would want. I think that would be really, really cool. Because I've been seeing a lot of Twitter bots that people buy. So.
Any volunteers?
Someone should make that.
Like a customs for you, except Spank Chain.
Come talk to us
Hit
after.
us up.
Hackathon project? Well,
To tip girls
let's
on
try
Twitter.
to push it. Let's try to submit an issue after this talk to the
$10,000 in
hackathon.
Spank to the best applicant.
Let's try to
Judged
submit
by-
an issue like an idea. That
Judged
would
by
be
Brenna.
amazing. Sorry. So yeah, finally, obviously this community is way more open-minded than any other community or like even the world. So is there something that we still need to work on, or how can we help you and include you more?
We need more women in tech spaces, 100,000%. I did a keynote speech at Dahom, and I felt like a lot of the audience was just snickering. They were men, and they were like, "Oh my God, a porn star!" Like, it was really weird to be discounted because these men couldn't fathom a woman being in their space. I think that we could grow so much as a community, like in the tech world, by making women feel more comfortable in the space, and not just as like tokenized, like sexy faces, like I'm technically kind of doing up here. Like, yes, I am a co-founder of the company, but I'm also an adult film performer. Like, I make pornography. So I'm still towing the line. I want women who don't do that to feel comfortable in these spaces, because I think there's a lot of blind spots that could be fixed by just another set of female eyes, or non-male eyes, really.
She's
like, yeah, what she said.
No, that was yeah, for sure. I think us being taken more seriously, I think we do a lot of talks, and we've done it through the adult space, and everybody's like, oh, I get it, we're for it. They understand, they know us. But in this tech space, we've just been kind of disregarded for sure. This project too, it's kind of been a joke. And we're the ones doing stuff.
We have practical applications.
We're listening to the community.
It's a good joke. Like,
yeah.
Joke's on all of you.
So, Brenna, what can we do to make your life easier?
What can we do to make my life easier? Honestly, blockchain offers freedom for a world that does not want me. You know, this is why I support it. Yeah, make it easier to take money. Let's see. What can you guys do?
I mean, I don't think we asked for anything unreasonable. I think those are all things in a regular space. We just want to be part of it. We just want to be equal. We just want the same rights. Like, if you don't like what we're doing, just don't log in. Yeah. Don't search us. That's it. I don't think that we need to, you don't have to come and hate us and tweet at us.
Because the problem that we're fixing is there are tons of people who want to give us money, and we can't accept that money, which seems like a very silly problem when you really think about it. So something that could make our lives easier is focusing on the value that the sex work industry holds and has held since the beginning of time as, the oldest profession, starting from, prostitution and stripping, phone sex, selling nudes, private Snapchats, all of these things. Like, there's so much money to be made if you would just suck it up and stop being babies.
Yeah. Thank
and it's
you.
okay if you're not into sex stuff. You don't have to be. It's just tech.
So, from people not taking your project seriously, actually behind the project there's amazing state channels work. So maybe, Ameen, can you just briefly update us on this? Because if they don't take sex, take sex seriously, maybe they take these seriously.
Yeah. So I think Vitalik actually put it really well when he said. He's saying that he loves our marketing strategy, which is make technology that's so good that everyone has to talk about it. And so the first thing we did was April 2nd, we launched the beta, which had the first functioning payment channels on mainnet. And so that was custodial. You had your viewer open the payment channel with the hub, but the hub held on to the money. And then when the performers wanted, we would cash them out. Last week, we upgraded that to the first ever non-custodial payment channel hub on the Ethereum mainnet, where it uses sort of leapfrogged over hash lock technology and implemented the Perun-style virtual channels. And so what that does is it creates fully peer-to-peer money streams, essentially, that go from the user to the performer that just relay through the hub. And probably going to open source that pretty soon so everybody can have it. And then it'll also have ERC20 support in 30 days. And we launched the Spank Bank, which is our algorithmic central bank that we're trying to launch without attracting too much attention by shrouding it in enough obscenity that nobody asks too many questions.
Tell them how much ETH we've moved to our site.
So we moved, I don't know, something like $50,000 through the site, 10,000 last month. And so, We'll have the first wallet that uses Ether properly, because it'll have a little gas station icon, and you'll have a little ETH you keep in reserve, and you use that to pay your transactions, and all the rest of it doesn't matter what's going on. It'll just be token transfers and stuff. So, I mentioned that.
Okay, that sounds pretty serious to me.
There's just way too much stuff to cover. We just launched so much more stuff, and then so much more stuff is coming. We're going to build a state channel exchange called CumSwap, except it's going to be COME because, originally we were thinking about doing CUM, but decided that would be vulgar, so we're not going to do that. Come swap with us.
That sounds pretty serious to me. Does anyone have any doubts that Spankchain is serious? Please stand up and ask a question.
This is for you, Ameen. Okay, what made you get into this? I mean, I have 3 theories in mind. I don't know which one's the right one. One, either your love for the sex industry, or 2, because it makes very clear financial sense. There's a vacuum in that industry which you're trying to fill. Or 3, was it something more personal? You start out to help a friend and then graduated to what you're doing now?
Yeah, that's a good question and good framing. So it's a combination. So it started out where I was the payment channel expert at Consensus for about a year, and then I left, and I was like, I wonder where the best application of payment channels is going to be, right? And to be fair, like I'm not a prude per se. Like I watch a healthy amount of pornography, enough to understand the market and whatnot. And so
it's market research, really.
I wasn't like shying away from it, and I was also aspiring rationalist, which is that you try to do the thing that makes sense, despite what other people might think or what have you. And so we started out, and I was like, this seems like a good application for payment channels, and then started doing real research, and then realized that like no, this industry is actually like totally discriminated against by the existing financial system, and if blockchain is going to work anywhere, it's going to work here, and like in fact, if we're true to like all of the things that we actually hope to achieve, like this is the community that needs it the most and will move on it fastest. And so we can, by building for this community, learn the most about how to bring this technology to everybody else.
See, SpunkChain is serious. Any other questions? Dean?
Oh, right there.
Where?
I have a marketing question for you. When it comes to our pornography consumption, we're still, on a general level, we're still prudes. We don't openly advertise that. And this way you're missing on a big chunk of, word of mouth marketing and stuff like that. For example, I signed up for Peepeth, and I went on Twitter and bragged about it, but a lot of people will probably not go and advertise, their pornography preferences on social media or, talk to their friends about that. Is that hindering your mass adoption? Is that an issue for SpunkChain?
I don't think so, because somehow you guys all know who we are. Which means that you like talking about it.
I think it's a yes and no thing where, people talk about it in, behind closed doors, but enough people talk about it behind closed doors that they may as well be talking about it in public. Because if you have the same conversation over and over with different people, you're still spreading the word. You don't have to talk about the kind of porn you're watching to be like, hey, look, this payment processing solution helps fix discriminatory practices against a group of marginalized people. You don't have to talk about sex to be like, wow, we're helping people who need help and who have been discriminated against by these financial institutions since the beginning of time. So our marketing is cool in that, like, it appeals to people who just want to help, and it appeals to people who love to watch people fucking. And otherwise, true sex positivity is like, I support you if you want to have all of the sex in the world or none of the sex, and you never want to see naked people ever. That's what real sex positivity is, and I'm proud to be a part of a sex positive company where we don't try to force feed you things. It's like, you can take part in whatever part of this resonates the most with you. You just can't hate us for it.
Any other question? Last call.
Hi, my question is, since how many adult performers in this space have problems with bank accounts, and if you had to give a rough
literally
percent.
every single one of them.
And so
every single performer has had a problem with a financial institution.
And so how much time does it take to then solve that solution every time? That's like a few weeks?
Oh my God.
It's not always solved.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes
not always
it takes
solved.
weeks, but mine was solved within 24 hours only because I posted it on Twitter.
Okay.
And
I've
it was
had-
retweeted a lot.
I left one bank because they were shutting down my colleagues' accounts. I was kicked out of another bank because they decided that, they didn't want my money anymore. And I try to keep all of my transactions very secret, very, I'm incorporated under a name that has nothing to do with my stage name. Okay. It's a lot of time, work, and energy to stay under the radar for these traditional financial institutions. I literally could not put a time, like an amount of time on how much I've spent trying to get my Cash App back, trying to get my Venmo back, trying to get Square Cash or Shopify or Big Cartel or Stripe or PayPal to just answer. A lot of these people don't even care if we appeal. They're like, oh, nope, you're a whore, goodbye.
Okay.
I'm sure Allie can...
Yeah, I certainly can think of 3 of the ones that you named that I never got money back on. And it's not that I'm doing anything illegal. Again, everything I'm doing is legal. It's just sometimes I show my tits and sometimes I show my feet. But is that a thing that I should be discriminated against?
And we're also talking about, like, the United States, personally, for us, when, you know, in other places in the world, prostitution isn't even illegal, and payment processors are still discriminating against us. And even in the United States, we have legal prostitution in one county in Nevada, and we still are criminalized for everything. You would think that we were killing people out there.
Well, thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much, Ali, Janice, Brenna. You have been great, and yeah, thanks, Ameen, too.
Yeah, you're fine, I guess.
You were fine.